of the nighttime show. And the Thursday is always the update glued to your radio. It's Voice of the People, is VOP 90.3, and I am Rahim, and we're going to be doing this together. So please be my guest as we start the show. Now, before I start to kick in to let you know exactly the trending news and updates, what are past, and of course you will be having a lot of new update breaking, and you know what is going on in the nation, what is trending in the nation. I will be doing this till 11 plus, you know what I mean? So get closer is the time. So I'm going to talk about other things before we can start. And today I usually do not want to pick calls, but if you feel that you can actually take a slice of any of our update, and then you can get me back some summation that is actually as good, then I can let you in. The phone lines will be open just maybe 40 minutes or 45 minutes before I shut down. So I just have a couple of people that can meaningfully, give summation to any of the news update and any of the trending updates that might, be taking your fancy. Okay, so you're welcome on board. You're welcome. All right, so I'm going to start by letting you guys know that today is an International Day of Reflection and Commemoration. International Day of Reflection and Commemoration of the 1995 genocide in Srebrenica. Today, 11th of July. I'm just going to give you a little details and keep you up to speed on what exactly the United Nations is bringing on this International Day of Reflection and Commemoration of the 1995 genocide in Srebrenica today at this particular date. Now, in 1995, a lot of things happened. So, the genocide in Srebrenica, the war that followed the breakup of the former Yugoslavia, that's the former Yugoslavia, claimed more than 100,000 lives in Bosnia and in Herzegovina also between 1992 and 1995. Mostly of the Bosnian Muslims, and displaced more than 2 million others. 2 million. That was too much. So this massacre in Srebrenica marked one of the darkest chapters of the war, that war. So in July, precisely, I want to believe it's in 11 July, this particular date, 1995, the Bosnian Serb army, overran Srebrenica, previously declared a safe area under the United Nations Security Council Resolution 819. And they brutally murdered thousands of men and teenagers in that place. So the remainder of the Bosnian Muslim population present the Srebrenica. Approximately, we're talking about 25,000 women, children, and elderly, people were forcibly transferred out of the enclave. So this was the largest massacre in Europe since the Holocaust, if you know. So to date, only a few events have been determined by the competent judicial bodies to constitute genocide. The International Court of Justice, talking about the ICJ, which is the highest, and the International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia, the ICTY, recognized the massacre of Bosnian Muslim and Srebrenica by the Army of Republika Srpska as an act of genocide. And this also, the ICJ, talking about the International Court of Justice, is also recognizing exactly what any which war that is happening right now all over the world. Talking about, the one in the one in Russia, the other side, and then the one that Russia is doing things with, and then the Israeli whatever, all that they are actually looking at that too to put in record. You'll be hearing from them soon. So remembering the victims, the genocide left deep emotional scars on the survivors, families, and victims, and the Bosnian and the Herzegovinian society in general, creating enduring obstacles to reconciliation among the country's different ethnic groups. Okay, so 2025, I'm talking about next year, will mark the 13th anniversary of the genocide in Srebrenica, in which at least we have 8,372 lives were lost. Thousands were displaced, and families and of course communities were devastated. So United Nations Special Advisor on the Prevention of Genocide, Alice Werimo Ndiritu, has expressed her concern over the continuous incident of the revisionism concerning the atrocity crimes perpetrated during the 1992 to 1995 conflict, including unabated denial of the Srebrenica genocide, and of course glorification of the convicted war. So today is that day where they're having a reflection, the International Day of commemoration. It's an International Day of the reflection and commemoration of the 1995 genocide in Srebrenica. Today is that day. There's a whole lot going. The Day of Reflection and Commemoration actually started in May, and they started doing that reflection up until now. So that's it. We celebrate that. Austin, shout out to you. Thank you. So, and then of course today also is another World International Day. Talking about the World Population Day is today. Okay, so this is actually recognized by the United Nations as the international. So I mean, to leave no one behind, count everyone. So I mean, I've got this speech. I would have loved to play, but I would not be able to do it because of time. So the United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres has come up to say, and I quote him, as the theme of this year's World Population Day reminds us, investing in data collection is important to understanding problems, tailoring solutions, and driving progress. So is finance. And then he says, I urge countries to make the most of the summit of the future this year to unleash affordable capital for sustainable development. This is coming from the United Nations Secretary, based on another holiday. And this is about the World Population Day. I don't know how many people that we have in the world now. I think they should be more than 7 billion. Since how many years we keep talking about 7 billion? It should be more. So what do you think? Some are actually doing a control of childbirth control, and not what America is doing, but in Asia, like in China, which I spoke about one day. I mean, some of it was last year. All right. So over the past 3 decades, societies around the world have made remarkable progress in improving population data gathering, analysis, and of course use new population figures disaggregated by age, ethnicity, gender, and other factors now reflect the diversity of our societies more accurately. So these advancements have significantly enhanced the delivery of health care globally, leading to substantial improvement in sexual and, of course, reproductive health and the ability to exercise rights and choices. Increasingly, the new technologies are enabling more detailed and timely measurement of people's experiences than ever before. Now, however, the most marginalized communities remain underrepresented in data, profoundly affecting their lives and well-being. So today has been the World Population Day of 2024 is a moment to ask who is still, going uncounted. In other words, who are they not counting, and who are they counting? And why is this happening? And what is the cost of individual societies and our global effort to leave no one behind? So count to everyone. We don't know exactly. I mean, maybe I'm going to get some feedback from this. So it is also a moment for all of us to commit to doing more to ensure that our data system capture the full range of human diversity, to that everyone is seen, can exercise their human rights, and also can reach their full potential. All right. So to realize the rights and choices of those on the margins of our societies, we must count them, because everyone counts. Everyone counts. So our rich human tapestry is only as strong as its weakest thread. So when data and other systems work for those on the margins, they work for everyone. This is how we, accelerate progress for all. So shout out to everybody who's making it work, making sure they count. As I said, they usually say the people of the world is 7 billion. Now I am hearing there's plus 1 billion now. It's 8 billion lives, infinite possibility, and of course the case of right and choices. So we're looking at 8 billion people in the world. Let me just give you some tips from the trends I got some time ago. It took hundreds of thousands of years for the world population to grow to 1 billion. Okay. And then just another 200 years or so, it grew to sevenfold. And then in 2011, the global population reached the 7 billion mark, which what I was saying, 7 billion. So this information is going to be good. So get ready, get close. It stands at almost 7.9 billion in 2021. 7.9 billion people in the world in 2021. Okay, it stands, staggering at almost 7 billion. So you see, I said in 2011, count it till now. It's way too long. And that time, everybody was saying that human beings in the world were up to 7 billion mark. Okay. And then 7.9 billion, it went up as we got to 2021. And it's expected to grow to around 8.5 billion in 2030. So 8.5 billion in 2030. 9.7 billion it will be in 2050. And 10.9 billion in I don't know what we're going to call this one. Is it okay? And then let me shut my mouth. But it's a 10.9 billion people that will be in the future of 2100. Okay. And I wonder if some of us are still going to be alive. Some of us won't be alive, but some of us will be great grandfathers and mothers in 2100, that we've gone past 2050, 2060, 2080, 2100. So, I mean, this dramatic growth has been, driven largely by increasing numbers of people surviving to reproductive age, and has been accompanied by major changes in fertility rates, increasing urbanization, and accelerating migration also. These trends will have far-reaching implications for generations to come. So the recent past has seen enormous changes in fertility rates and, of course, life expectancy. In the early 1970s, women had on average 4.5 children each. By 2015, total fertility for the world had fallen by below 2.5. Okay. 2.5 children per woman. And then meanwhile, average global lifespans have risen from 64.6 years in the early 1990s to 72.6 years in 2019. Whether you believe it or not, this is the statistics. Now, to end it up, in addition to the world is seeing high levels of urbanization and accelerating migration, and then, of course, 2007 was the first year in which more people lived in urban areas, 2007, than the rural areas. People keep moving out from the rural areas to the urban area. And by 2050, about 66% of the world population will be living in cities. So who's going to be in the village? Who are the one that will be going to Ukanu's club in the village? These mega trends have far-reaching implications, though, and they affect economic development, employment, income distribution, poverty, and, of course, social protections. They also affect efforts to ensure universal access to health care, education, housing, sanitation, water, food, and energy. And to more sustainably address the needs of individuals, policymakers must understand that how many people are living on the planet, where they are, how old they are, and how many people will come after them. That's the brouhaha of the whole thing. So shout out today being a World Population Day. Every year, 11th of July. So welcome back. It's the Training Thursday TV, and this nighttime show edition is to keep you abreast with the information of what's happening and what's trending, and to keep you updated so you know what if it's time for us to run or for us to for us to gather for a meeting, or for us to return back to our various cities. And you see the statistics. They say in 2050, they said a lot of people will be in the mega cities. And so I'm asking a question: who's going to be in the village? Now, villages now, every country and nation should be able to start, and they should start making villages work. Connect good things from the rural area to the urban areas, so the people can actually access it, and then the people will not be looking at the villages or the rural areas like a place of a dumb slut. No. So we got to do something about this, okay? And when it comes to the census of this country, please, we should just remove animals from one side and just focus on human beings. All right, and know the exact people that we have in this country, especially in Lagos. All right, so now it's time. All right, welcome on board. This is where we give you the best, the latest, the best and the latest, and of course exclusive updates, and all of that. And then I'm going to start by letting you guys know a breaking that just came through, and this is about the NLC, and of course the meeting that NLC had with the disclosed meeting of about the amount the federal government should pay as the minimum wage. And those of you who are actually waiting to hear, please, I'm here to give you all that. So get close, get close, get close, get close. All right, let's begin. This right here is breaking after meeting Tinubu. NLC discloses actual amount federal government should pay as the minimum wage. Okay, so after meeting Tinubu, NLC discloses actual amount federal government should pay as the minimum wage. All right, so Joe Ajaro's led Labour has insisted that it will not accept an offer from the president, Tinubu, less than 250,000 naira as the new minimum wage. He insisted that he will not accept any offer from the government, from the president, less than 250,000 as a new minimum wage. Secondly, NLC President Ajero stated this after his meeting with President Tinubu held on this particular date, Thursday, July 11, at the presidential villa. At the moment, Tinubu's led government has insisted on paying Nigerian workers 62,000. In case you don't know, now you know. At the moment, Tinubu's led government has insisted on paying Nigerian workers 62,000 naira. But NLC and TUC rejected the offer and demanded 250,000 as the new minimum wage. All right. So I'm going to put you up to speed and give you more information about this. All right, so we got aid from the State House in Abuja, and the leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress and NLC has maintained that it's not going back on its demand for 250,000 as a new minimum wage. NLC insists 250,000 new minimum wage. Tinubu begs for time. That's what we are seeing. Okay, so the president of the NLC, Joe Ajero, disclosed this to the press today, July 11, after organized labor, including the Trade Union Congress, TUC, met with the president, Bola Tinubu, at the presidential villa today. So, interestingly, while Tinubu's led federal government and organized private sector, the OPS, agreed on 62,000 naira, Labour is still insisting on 250,000 for the common man, as the minimum wage. However, President Tinubu has said the needed time to consult with other stakeholders before sending the bill for the new minimum wage to National Assembly. All right. So let's look forward and see what this as the story unfolds. Now, speaking further, NLC President Ajero noted that the meeting with Tinubu and the tripartite committee and the new minimum wage will continue next week. Buttressing his point, Ajero noted that the labor leaders will go back to the people and return to the presidential villa. Also, the Trade Union Congress, the TUC President Festus Osifo, is that they discussed, and after explaining their position, the president also made his remarks. He did not disclose detail of the discussions of the meeting. All right, so let's move on to another one. This one here says, cut your clothes according to available material. This is exactly the word from your president. Tinubu tells labor leaders. It says, cut your clothes according to available material. It could be the material of John Koso. It could be the material of linen. It could be a material of the one that you use. So senator, however, hard. Could be a material for chinos or any material. For those of you who know the materials, we don't know exactly what kind of material, but he says cut your clothes according to the available material. And Tinubu tells labor. All right, let's go into details. See what is going on in the book. This is something that you need to hear. President Bola Tinubu has advised the organized labor to be realistic in their demand for a new minimum wage for workers. This is even as the president is said that the Nigerian workers deserve improved welfare, better wages, as well as safe and enhanced working conditions as the driving force of the nation. Tinubu stated this while speaking with the leadership of the Nigeria Labour Congress NLC, led by Comrade Joy Ajero, and that of the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria TUC, led by Comrade Festus Osifo, today in Abuja. President Tinubu said he is concerned about the welfare of Nigerian workers and that his administration is prioritizing their concerns. So in quotes, I pay attention to everything around me. Happy worker is a productive worker, and a society depends on the productivity of the happy worker. This is a word that came through your president of Nigeria, Tinubu. However, the president called for realistic expectation as regards the minimum wage question stating you have to cut your coat according to available clothes before we can finalize on the minimum wage process. We have to look at the structure. This is his words. Moving along, more stuff he said. He said, we adjust wages every 5 years. Okay? Why not 2? Why not 3 years? What is the problem today? Can it be eased up tomorrow? There is a much dynamism to these process. If we are not myopic in our approaches, we can actually take a surgical approach that is based on pragmatism, and of course a deep understanding of all effort. He said so many other things that I would not be able to go there because of time. So this is still on the minimum wage. Let's move on. This one here says Buhari minister remanded in Kuje prison over 33 billion fraud charges. I'm hearing some noise from the east, southwest, and the north. Please, can somebody tell me what is going on? So this right here says again, Buhari's minister, that's the former president, Buhari's minister, remanded in Kuje prison over 33 billion fraud charges. I'm gonna put you up to speed on this one. So listen, come close. So the Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the remand of Salah Maman, the former Minister of Power, in Kuje prison following his arraignment on a 12-count money laundering charge. Yes, this is what's going on. So the charge is brought by the Economic Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, alleged Maman's involvement in fraudulent activities amounting to 33 billion naira. Maman, who served as Minister of Power from 2019 until his dismissal in September 2021 by ex-President Muhammadu Buhari, pleaded not guilty to all charges. Now, during the court proceedings, Maman collapsed outside the courtroom before the case was called, prompting immediate medical attention. I'll pause there. Now, let me ask a question. I want to ask myself the question, and anybody who cares to listen. Why is it that now they are collapsing? Why? But when the money is entering the account and they're using it for all of these sweet things, big things, do whatever they do with the money and stuff like that, they don't collapse. I mean, I've never seen anybody when money comes, like, if I receive 20 billion, will I collapse and resurrect? I mean, I've seen people who collapse with joy and resurrect again. And I don't know, but I mean, why is it now that everybody who is into such fraud, anyone in this country who had to, they'll collapse? Is it a fake thing they're doing? It's just that it's the fear of, I don't know. So if they have that kind of fear of all of this happening to them, why do they even think or have the thought process of stealing Nigerians' money? Taxpayers' money. People's money. Okay. So I'm going to go back again. I said it before. He served as a Minister of Power from 2019. His name is Maman. Okay. So, I mean, from 2019 until his dismissal in September 2021 by ex-President Muhammadu Buhari, pleaded not guilty to all charges. We're talking about 33 billion naira. Now, during the court proceedings, Maman collapsed outside the courtroom before the case was called, prompting immediate medical attention. His counsel, Femi Ate, S.A.N., informed the court of Maman's collapse and subsequent resuscitation by the Federal High Court's medical personnel. Thank God they even have one. So, I mean, despite the health scare, Maman appeared in court drenched, explaining that water had been poured on him following his collapse. So they poured water on him. And then the EFCC lawyer, Adeyinka Olumide Fasika, also S.A.N., confirmed the incident and expressed understanding of the request for adjournment due to Maman's condition. Okay. So now, Justice James Omotosho, presiding over the case, acknowledged that Maman's held the situation, but decided to proceed with the arrangement. Maman confirmed that he was fit enough to continue, and the judge noted it can happen to anyone before temporarily stepping down the arrangement until the afternoon session. So, I mean, they had a different session. And then Maman was officially remanded in Kuje prison, with the court set to hear his bail application on Friday. You see that? Somebody said, oh, I was waiting to hear that. So the former minister's legal team had initially sought out an adjournment to Monday, but this request was withdrawn due to the court's heavy docket. All right, so EFCC charges against Maman stem from the allegations of financial misconduct involving significant sums intended for the Zongeru and the Mambila hydroelectric power project. The former minister was actually reportedly involved in diverting funds, money, cash, ego, kudi, and conspiring with ministry staff to misappropriate public money. His arrest came 4 months after his dismissal from the ministerial post. When can we actually say we can actually give maximum punishment to people like this? We have maximum punishment in China, in different other countries, mostly in Asia. Why do we, if we do it, let's forget about what some people call themselves, well, I don't know, I don't know. I actually wanted to say something nasty. I heard that somebody says in Dume or whatever. I don't even want to. He said something about that it's only when office holders steals more than billions, that's when, is it billions or trillions? That's when it should be prosecuted. That's literally what the man says. Well, I hope that we can actually work this out to make sure that it's a maximum punishment so this can stop. If there is no maximum punishment, that is my own opinion, and I'm opinionated, so I can tell you I advocate for that. Let there be punishment, and a capital one. Death straight up by injection or by any other means, so that corruption of this kind will end. Alright, so moving along, this one here says appeal court upholds Ododo's election as Kogi governor. Appeal court upholds Ododo's election as Kogi governor. So the Abuja division of the Court of Appeal upheld the election of Usman Ododo of the All Progressive Congress as the governor of Kogi. Okay. Today, the division of the Court of Appeal upheld the election of Usman Ododo of All Progressive APC as the governor of Kogi State. The three-member panel of justice in the judgment agreed with the election tribunal that the Social Democratic Party SDP and its governorship candidate Motala Ajaka failed to prove all the allegations in the petition beyond reasonable doubt. So the appellate court held the petitioner's witnesses were incompetent, and it said because their statement did not accompany the petition in line with electoral laws. The appellate court also held the alleged certificate forgery against Ododo should have commenced at the Federal High Court, being a pre-election matter. So subsequently, the appellate court held that the appellant could not prove their case beyond reasonable doubt, thereby upholding Mr. Ododo's election. The SDP and Mr. Ajaka had in the petition sued INEC, Mr. Ododo, and the APC as first, third respondent, respectively. All right, what you have got to say? What is your say on this? I don't know. I'm going to let the phone lines open while I continue, but not now. This one here says local government autonomy, how people can now hold local government chairman accountable, says Tinubu. The LG is talking about the local government autonomy. Our people, it says, our people can now hold the local government chairman accountable, says Tinubu. And I'm going to put you up to speed real quickly. President Bola Tinubu. Okay. So the president today told governors that local government chairmen can now be held responsible as the Supreme Court judgment has affirmed the autonomy of the 774 local government in Nigeria. So the president welcomed the decision of the Supreme Court of Nigeria affirming the spirit, intent, and purpose of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria on the statutory right to local government. This was revealed in a statement by Ajuri Ngalale, special advisor to the president on media and publicity. So the governor who were cited at the State House presidential villa included Chukwuma Soludo of Anambra State, Abdul Rahman Abdul Razak of Kwara State, and Usman Ododo of Kogi State, amongst others. Although details of the meeting were not available at the time of sending the report, but of course, inside sources said it may not be unconnected with the Supreme Court judgment, which may have stripped the state of the powers to control the government at the third tier. Okay, so the autonomy now has actually gone. Why is all this happening now? Why didn't it happen in the time when some people were still governors and president? Politics, I know, is ticking. All right, I'm not hitting any of this, but then of course, let's move on. So moving along, this one here says NSAS protest, ECOWAS courts finds federal government guilty of human rights violation. NSAS protest, ECOWAS courts finds federal government guilty of human rights violation. I'll put you up to speed on this one. The Court of Justice of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has found the federal government guilty of violating the fundamental human rights of youth who participated in the NSAS protests in October 2020. So the court, in unanimous judgment by the three-man panel of justices on Wednesday, it held that there was merit in the suits that three participants in the protest, Obianuju Catherine Ude Perpetual Kamsi and Daibiri Olua Adeyinka, lodged before it. So the court specifically held that the Federal Republic of Nigeria, through its security agencies, violated Articles number 1, Article number 4, 6, 9, 10, and 11 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. So the ACPHR, pertaining to the right to life, security of persons, freedom of expression, assembly, and association, prohibition of torture, and of course the duty of the state to investigate, and the right to an effective remedy. The applicants, all of them had in their slots, or in their suits rather, alleged that these violations occurred during a peaceful protest they held at Lekki Tollgate in Lagos State on October 20 and 21, 2020. So the regional court in its lead judgment, that was delivered by the judge, Rapporteur Justice Koromer Mohammed Sengu, dismissed the applicant allegation that their right to life as guaranteed under the Article 4 of the ACPHR was violated. However, it ordered the federal government to pay each of the applicant a sum of 2 million naira as a compensation for violation of their security of person, prohibition of torture, cruel, inhuman, and degrading treatment. Rights to freedom of expression, assembly, and of course association. Duty to investigate human rights violations and right to effective remedy. And all of that. So, I mean, this is a court in ECOWAS that has actually come out to say, okay, fine, then these people who actually dropped the case against them will have to be compensated with 2 million naira each. But I'm asking the question, what about others who didn't come out? Is it because they didn't come out? Is it because they didn't file a suit? Who knows? But this is the way to go. This is a good development anyway. All right. So I'm going to open the phone lines now, and then anybody who wants to call while I continue to dish out, the information. It's just going to keep you busy and making it. Your brain must be collecting a lot of information, and keep it there where it's supposed to be. Keep it in the back of your bank in case they say anything. So we know we have the information already. All right. Okay. All right, so the number is 0700-903-903-903. 0700-903-903-903. And of course, WhatsApp, if you want to reach me on WhatsApp, the number is 08171756338. If you're still awake, well, which I know you are, this is Lagos City, it's the mega city, and it's turning to that point where, till morning, we're still doing what we do best. But then, if there's any of these updates that interest you or tickle your fancy, call. And if I like, I peek. If I don't like, I just gonna let it go. But I gotta take this one. You will want to hear this. This one here says, we'll just keep you up to date. Senate reject bill to repeal foreign exchange law. The Senate rejects bill to repeal foreign exchange law. Let's see. I put you up to speed on this one. The Nigerian Senate has trashed a bill seeking to repeal the foreign exchange law and establish a foreign exchange market in Nigeria to make provisions for the control, monitoring, and the supervision of transactions conducted in the foreign exchange market. But the bill is sponsored by Sani Musa, the lawmaker representing Niger East, and the chairman Senate Committee on Finance was not read for the second time after a majority of lawmakers voted against it during plenary today. So we're looking at the bill aiming to liberalize and, of course, to give CBN more powers to regulate the FX sponsor. Musa, in his lead debate, argued that the existing law requires a review. According to him, the objective of the bill is to establish a foreign exchange market, stabilize the value of the currency by ensuring the liberalization of foreign exchange transactions. He added that the bill will contribute to the sound development of the national economy by striving to facilitate foreign transactions. So, that Senate rejecting the bill to repeal for board. Why is the complaint? And the foreign exchange is one of the gross problems of the country. Let's move to another. So this one is actually very worrisome, and I'm not taking this lightly because of hunger and because of the economic plunge. You see, a lot of people sell their babies. They sell not. Do they even have a material things to sell? They sell babies, your own child. So this has been going on, and it's actually very nasty. It's surged up so much this period because of hunger. I've gotten a lot of stories about who did this, who did that, about selling their children because of what. So this one is no different. It's, part of what we've been talking and what we've been hearing. And please, this is actually going out to all the public out there. If you see things like this, you better help. Because if you might not, or if you don't do such, or protect your environment, it might happen to you. It might happen to anybody very close to you. So this one here says, police nab couple attempting to sell their child in Lagos. This is funny. For visa. So this is the reason while a couple agreed to sell a child. Their child. Because of visa. So I'm going to put you up to speed on this one. Police nab couple attempting to sell their child in Lagos for visa. Now, because of what's going on in the world, mostly, here, everybody's just looking for how they can succeed. Everyone is looking for, nobody cares about anything anymore. It's just about themselves. You can say greed, you can say self-centered, you can say selfish. It's just about themselves. It's about self. And nobody cares about anything anymore. There is no feeling for a love or care for any human being. As long as they can eat, they can live in a comfortable place. Now that things are plunging up like crazy, things are hard, and some people don't even have a home where to sleep, where to stay. Some people can't even afford the millions that the landlord and the agents of this day are calling. Some people can't even afford just a square meal. That's just one. It's crazy because these are the things I'm seeing around. So it's crazy that sometimes when you're talking about this, no one wants to listen. They say, I never eat what I did. Nobody's saying, nobody cares. It's a jungle that we are in right now. Everyone wants to survive. That's how the country is. But to talk about people at the aims of affairs not knowing what the people are going through is pure wickedness. There's nothing else. It's evil. It's the capital of EVIL, nothing else. So I'm going to read this for you. This is crazy. So the Lagos State Police Command has arrested a couple named Uchenna Ezekwe, 28 years old, and of course probably his wife Chineye Ezekwe, 22 years old, for allegedly attempting to sell their 2-year-old child. And then the couple blamed the current hardship in the country and claimed that they wanted to use the proceeds from the sale to procure traveling documents to Canada. So the couple was said to have declared their intention to sell their little boy at Isola General Hospital. This happened at Isola General Hospital, Isola here, General Hospital, in the Isola area of Lagos State. It was gathered that the management of the hospital later informed the police at Isola Division after pretending to have agreed to do the beating of the couple. So in their confessional statement to the police, the couple admitted attempting to sell their son for an undisclosed amount. I'm sure it's not going to be more than 2 million, 3 million, or even possibly a million naira. I can't believe this. Seriously. Okay. So, let's continue. They, however, blame the current hardship in the country for their actions, and they also begged for forgiveness. It was a difficult decision, but we had no choice but to sell our baby. This is what they are saying. So we felt it will be better to sell him to someone who can take care of him than to allow him die of hunger. So they say the idea was mine. I convinced my wife, that's the man talking, Uchenna, and though it wasn't easy, Uchenna confessed when he was paraded yesterday. There was no need to do the parading at all. All those crazy politicians that are eating our money and embezzling money, they don't parade them, or they give them bail. It was paraded yesterday at the command headquarters in the Ikeja area of the state. So the Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Adegoke Fayade, who paraded the couple, said they were arrested just this Tuesday, July 9th, 2024, while attempting to sell their boy. Fayade, who was represented by the command spokesman, Benjamin Onday, said Tuesday at about 2:45 p.m. the divisional police officer, the DPO in charge of Isola police station, received an information that the couple went to Isola General Hospital and of course declared their intention to sell their baby boy. Upon receipt of the information, operatives from the station, they moved swiftly, right? Okay, good. They moved swiftly to the hospital where one Uchenna Ezekwe, 28 years old, and Chineye Ezekwe, his wife, 22, were about to sell their child. The boy, 2 years old, was rescued. Upon interrogation, the couple stated that they decided to sell the babies to enable them travel to Canada. And it's like, it's just maybe, I think it's just maybe for the man to travel first, and then he will now bring her. This is so sad. So I'm going to take a break now, and when I come back, I'm going to give it a chance if you want to say anything concerning all that I've been able to, spit out. There's an update here, and I just want to take a breather and play some advert. Now we'll be back on Trending Thursday right here, the Thursday's edition of the Nighttime Show with Rahim.
It's the movement you've been waiting for, and we're bringing it to you live. Don't miss a second. Don't miss a second of the action as we broadcast live from the biggest news stories, hot talk shows, depth analysis from the best in the world. Stay informed and up to date with the best radio programming all day, every day. On your number one, People's Radio, Voice of the People, 90.3 FM.
Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36 Lagos International Airport Road beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM. Voice of the People, 90.3 FM Vegas.
All right, so welcome back real quick. The lines are open for anybody who just I just need a couple of people. I can say something about the updates and all that have actually dished out tonight. 0700-903-903-903. WhatsApp line is 08171756338. And if that interests you, sorry that I didn't pick some of your calls, but because of the break, so you can call now. Let me hear one or two persons, and I'm good to go. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening.
Evening.
Okay. Welcome on board.
Yeah, this is Mrs. Kenny.
Mrs. Kenny, you're welcome.
Yeah. I am so touched, painfully referenced that the couple will decide to sell their own child.
Okay, so that's the story that got you. Okay.
Yeah. It just makes me also, Bible situation of, two women that...
Mrs. Kenny, sorry, I've got to let you know that you're breaking. I think the network is where, I don't know. Let's see. Okay.
Can you hear me better?
Yeah, I can hear you better now.
Okay. I said it just reminds me of the Bible stuff about those two women that both agreed to kill their children, eat one today, and then eat the other one the next day. It's really sad.
It is.
Can you hear me still?
I can hear you still.
Okay. Yeah, what I'll just say is that I just hope that that kid will not be given back to those parents.
No.
Because
obviously,
I'm really concerned about the safety of that child.
I mean, when you say that, this is not America. This is not the developed countries. So, I mean, they're going to get back to... I mean, do we have a substantial, or shall I say a profound, what's it called, a place for kids? I don't think so. I don't.
Praying that God will protect that child, honestly.
Yeah, well, I don't think...
You know,
okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you were saying. Go ahead.
I don't think that they would do it again if they were given the opportunity to take care. Now they have been arrested. Yeah, maybe they can give it to a family member, but not to take. Government can. I wouldn't even support that.
We pray, oh Lord, in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Now, yeah, and that's pretty much today. I was just thinking and kind of belly aching because I've been listening to all sorts of sad stories and what is going on in the economy today and now, and I would just one thing just made me reflect on the national anthem that was resuscitated.
Okay.
And you know how we say, Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve our motherland. And what just ministered to me is that unbeknownst to our president, that is a covenant agreement that he has resuscitated for the entire nation.
What?
The downside of it is that when a covenant agreement is broken, there's a judgment. So I'm just sounding a note of caution
okay.
to everyone in government that, number one, this our national resuscitated is divine. And when the judgment of God comes down, they need to make sure, every one of us, all and sundry, we need to make sure that we are not perpetrators of wrongdoing. Because remember Nebuchadnezzar, the anointing that came on him and he became calm. May that not be our portion in Jesus' name. So it's just a note of caution to every Nigerian in very, dignified positions of power, that they need to be very careful with the nation's money, with the voice of the people, because the people have started crying out to God. They go to different altars, they pray, they hold vigils, they fast, they cry, widows, orphans, the fatherless, and the poor, and destitute.
Okay.
So it's just a note of caution that I'm giving the government. On the other side, the flip side of it, in terms of the minimum wage, about $250K a month, I don't see anything wrong with that. Somebody was telling me she lived in Belgium for quite a while. She and her husband, and they raised their family there. She was telling me that the way they appropriate benefits to people in Belgium is just based on need, not based on your position. So you can actually see a cleaner driving a really expensive car because the system has assessed the need that she has in order to meet a certain threshold of comfort in that country. So they show up the differential, ensure that she's comfortable. And that's the beautiful thing. In Nigeria, this is my own opinion and my position. And God, who sees and watches and judges from the, activities of man, is also a witness to this. If the executive arm of government and give themselves very large wages, and they are living in opulence, ostentatious lifestyle, and they can actually to deny and deprive the poor and the masses. These things that make them dignified citizens of this country, then they should be on red and alert and ready to take what comes from God. Now, what do I want to say in a nutshell? I'll report right quick. This is my proposition to everyone in executive government. They can take it, they can leave it. I will say again, name is Mrs. Kenny. If they want to call VOP and get my number, let that. I'm not afraid of anyone.
Okay.
What they need to do, number one, everyone in government needs a pay cut. They should not earn what they earn in this country. The House of Representatives, the senators, they need a pay cut. When I was working outside Nigeria in diaspora, to meet expectations, the pay raise. You cannot need improvement and get a raise. All of them are within the rank of needing improvement performance. So they are not eligible for a raise. Rather, they need a pay cut. What do I propose? None of them should earn more than what, because they're in executive government, none of them should earn more than what anybody in executive cadre in any government parastatal ends. So what do I mean? Anyone from assistant director is considered executive in the federal government. So if you go to Ministry of Justice, for example, whoever is an assistant director, I would liken that to someone in the House of Reps. They'll have the space between assistant director to director level for, when they start, when they factor pay raise based on living expenses. So that is their cadre. Anyone within that cadre, whatever is the pay packet in the Ministry of Justice or Ministry of whatever ministry it is, that should be their pay cut. Again, my name is Mrs. Kenny, and you can call VOP and get my number. I'm not afraid of you.
Okay.
And God is in control.
Yeah.
So, House of Reps, you need a pay cut.
Yeah.
And you need it already.
Yeah.
The senators, you need, and you need it already.
Okay.
Your pay cut should not be higher than, let's use C. You should not earn more than what deputy governor the CBN earn per year. And I know you already do. If you earn more than that, you need a pay cut. And it should not exceed that. All those cars that were matter of fact, to be sincere, should be their next year's total pay emolument. So that 130 million naira vehicle that they were, the purchase for them, they already got paid for 2025.
Okay.
Did not collect any pay for 2025.
Well, that's not going to happen, right? Because
listen, I'm just speaking my mind because I want God to.
I know.
But let me say this:
Okay.
It's gonna happen because I'm not saying anything. The Holy Spirit can visit them in a dream and put such fear in them. They wake up shaking and trembling, and they will immediately come to Parliament or plenary or whatever it is they do in the National Assembly and do the right thing. Nigerians are suffering. What I'm saying is that by the time their pay is cut, House of Representatives, senators, now for the president, I don't know how much he earns, but he has no business earning more than the United States president.
Yeah.
And he does earn more than that. He needs a pay cut too. And it's not specific to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's specific to every president in Nigeria going forward. Another thing also, those retirement packages that public servants had prepared for themselves, former governors and the deputies, those retirement packages need to be cancelled now, ASAP, because you don't get a retirement package as big and bogus as they're not entitled to the retirement package because they were elected. They're not working as civil servants. So I want all those retirement packages cancelled daily. I'm speaking as a citizen. And as God be my helper, God is going to do it. Nigeria needs a change. So once again, just to recap, executive government. My name is Mrs. Kenny. I'm a regular caller at VOP. Call them a number. And God will deal with you if you don't do the right thing.
Okay.
You need to know you've instituted and invoked the covenant agreement in the national anthem. I thank God you did that. So if you break the covenant agreement, though tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve our sovereign motherland. If you have broken that covenant agreement, unbeknownst to you, you instituted and invoked when you broke that national anthem. They did it. Who did do the right thing? So that's where I rest my case, and I pray that Nigerians will not die unnecessarily. Because I love what Jonathan, at the blood of Nigeria, at birth is political ambition. That, for me, that's the best president in Nigeria.
Sorry, come again, because you were breaking. So
Jonathan, remember when he was running for election? President Jonathan, I'm just rounding up now. He said that his political ambition is not, that the blood of Nigerians are not worth his political ambition. For me, he was a president with a heart. He's the best president Nigeria has had yet. So, government, I have spoken directly to you. You need to do the needful. Release our money. You have taken our money. Give it back. And use it for the common good. Pay these people what they're asking. The lecturers, pay them. Everyone you're owing, pay them. Because widows often, rather, or destitute are in their midst, and God is listening to their cries. May God bless Nigeria. Nigeria go better in our time. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Well, because someone would say that will be, that is actually from Mrs. Kenny. 6 minutes gone past the hour of 11 o'clock. We're still here. It's the Trending Thursday. I've got to take one more call, so even more, and then I'm going to tell you about what the university students are trying to embark on. All right. Hello. What is your name?
Hello, Rahim.
Yeah. Good evening.
Yeah, this is Sebu calling from Solo.
Your line is breaking. You said?
Okay, my line is breaking.
Yeah, it's doing somehow. The government has taken over the network.
What about like this now?
No, it's still shaking. Okay, so you can call back. All right. So I'm waiting to hear from you. Hello? Okay. I'm waiting to hear from you when you call back. But before that, I'd like to let you know this information is actually coming on our heels, like is as fresh and exclusive that because of the fuel scarcity, university students vow to embark on nationwide protests. I'll tell you about it later. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening to you.
Yeah, good evening.
What's your name?
It's Charles from Discloses.
All right, Charles. You're welcome. So, which of this stuff that's sticking your
The couple that try to sell their baby.
and that won't catch a lot of people anyway. That's human. So, what do you think about that?
Okay. I don't support the fact. I don't support them trying to sell their baby. But when you look at the situation of things in the country, anything is possible.
Okay.
I mean, a neighbor of mine, someone brought an offer to me, and the offer was for him to allow his wife, for him to allow the man sleep with his wife for a week, and the man would give him 1.5 million for a project he needed.
Are you serious?
Hello?
Charles. Hello?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Hello?
Uh-oh, network. Charles, can you hear me?
Hello?
Hello, Charles. Ah, man. For real? Omar, Niger. You don't tell. One chance. Seriously. Hey, Lord Jesus, have mercy. So, I mean, anything and anything goes. Please, Charles, call back again. I want to hear from you. And I want to hear this story. See, like, Jehovah God. We're in a jungle. We're in a jungle. Whether you believe it or not, we are in a place where it's either something or nothing. Hello.
Yeah. Please, Charles.
Okay, Charles, you're welcome back. So you were saying, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
So you said that a man, given an offer, primarily maybe because
My neighbor.
your neighbor,
My neighbor. Yes.
Jehovah,
And my neighbor of life.
for real.
Yes, my neighbor gives his wife to this man for 1 week
Jesus.
for 1.5 million for a project he needed to carry out.
My God.
So these people trying to sell their baby, I don't support it. But the way things are in the country, what would you or anyone have them? Would they rather hold the child and allow hunger to kill the child, or they look for an alternative? I don't support selling, but it happened in the Bible too. So
Yeah.
until Nigeria wakes up to arrange things that we have scattered by ourselves, things like this will keep happening. This is just one out of millions that you heard. There are things going on that you don't know, just for survival. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you for calling. I appreciate that. Man. Wow. I'm short of words. So you give your wife for 1 week for a summer slam for 1 week because of 1.5 million? Let the man just come and marry her now and calculate it. You should just pay the bride price in millions and just give her, because I mean, if that happens and the woman is back, how would you be able to look at her this madness going on. Anyway, I know I've noticed this for a long time that the world is not a place where where good things happening anymore. I mean, crazy things going on. I mean, I said it again. I say it before. I'm gonna say it again. It's a jungle. It's a jungle. I know a lot of things are happening. I'm in the place where I've been opportune to hear confessions from people, deep secrets. I know. These things we're talking about, some people are still playing with it. Some people think that maybe he's just one of those things until when it gets to them. And then some people who are also going through some of these things, they are hiding it and pretending because they just feel that, it doesn't concern them. But look, it does. It does. Hello?
Good evening.
Good evening to you. Yeah.
This is Potako Boy calling you from Eva.
Potako Boy. All right. Let's hear from you.
You just said this, let me call it just two of out of what is happening in Nigeria, and you're surprised. It has become something else. I don't know why this leader, whether they don't have conscience.
No, that's the conscience.
People.
Not only the leaders. I think human beings don't have conscience anymore.
Or even people around them, because sometimes people around your environment or like your family, relatives, or friends. They are supposed to. This thing is not right. Like do it like this, and you take correction. But these people know their heart, and things is very, very tough in Nigeria. People begin to tell you things that happen. You hate country.
Yeah, true.
I have a friend. This guy has been dating over.
But I could boy for me, but your line is breaking.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can. Go ahead, please.
This guy was dating this girl for 5 years. So something happened. He lost job. So they don't have anything where to feed or anything to rely on. You know what this guy told me one day? If you're having a plan with girlfriend, the girlfriend to carry that with other person's baby.
But I could boy, your stuff is. Can you try and call back again, because your stuff is really. I'm not. It's breaking, it's truncating. Then my time is going, but then of course I can still pick your calls, like couple of calls, and then we're done. I know a lot of you want to say something about this particular one. Hello, what's your name?
Hello, sir. Good evening.
Good evening to you. What's your name, please?
My name is Bumi.
Bumi?
Good news.
Oh, good news. Okay, good news. Go ahead, please.
Can you hear me? My name is Good News.
Yes, your name is Good News. I got you. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead. Okay, I think that's a network right there. 11:30 is my time. I think this is we still have time. I still have time to, get some calls. 16 minutes gone past the hour 11. And I see more calls will be coming in, but then of course I've got to let you know about this This one here that says fuel scarcity, university student vow to embark on nationwide protest. So the National Association of University Students, the NAUS, has condemned the scarcity of premium motor spirit fuel in some states of the Federation. Now they're vowing to mobilize its members for a nationwide protest if the federal government fails to speedily resolve the issues around the non-availability of the product. So the NAUS President, Comrade Marshall Obaji, in a statement today in Abuja, lamented that the fuel scarcity has further worsened the pains and hardship of students across the country. Hello, what's your name, please? Is
Hello,
that it? Okay, who am I with? Good news?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello, sir.
Oh, okay. So I can hear you now. Go ahead. All right. So, I mean, that's that. Maybe one more update and we are out of here. All right, so this one definitely might be the last update I'm going to give. So right here, this one says 140,000 children under 14 living with HIV. Are we still hearing this stuff again? 140,000 children under 14 living with HIV. This is actually coming from the federal government. Okay, so the federal government today inaugurated the Prevention Mother-to-Child Transmission and Pediatric AIDS Acceleration Plan Committee to reduce mother-to-child transmission, to eliminate HIV/AIDS, and scale up the implementation of early testing and treatment for exposed infants. Now, these was, as the federal government said, 140,000 children under 14 are living with HIV as of 2023. Last year, with 22,000 new infections and 15,000 AIDS-related deaths recorded among children. How? Now, speaking at the inauguration of the committee, the Minister of State for Health and Social Welfare, Tunji Alausa, is that the government will be providing high-quality treatment and care for children and adolescents also living with HIV. Alausa, the chairman of the committee, noted that the committee is also state or tasked with ensuring a sustained commitment of all parties involved, including timely implementation of plan activities, addressing implementation bottlenecks, and monitoring the performance against set targets. So this is another, with all of this news, it's not about coming up with all of these statistics. What are the federal government doing? What's the government doing to make sure that they put this thing out of place? It's not about giving us this information. What are they doing? It's sad. Well, sometimes I feel like just, I don't know. I just don't have the word for it. Let's move into a calls from WhatsApp. Hello.
Hey.
Oh, Your Royal Highness.
You are.
Your Royal Highness.
I was gonna say you are hereby sacked, but you are hereby forgiven.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much for having that forgiving spirit. A lot of people don't have it. Our leaders don't have forgiving spirits. They are wicked and they are evil people. May God have mercy on them.
Thank you. Hope you're well. And
I'm good.
Good evening, Lagos.
I'm good.
You see, all these lack, crises, food shortages, I would be surprised if they are not happening. Okay? I'll be surprised they are not happening. You cannot be working against the law of nature and want to get positive results. It does not make sense. It doesn't happen like that.
Exactly.
Dangote was it last week, in his speech, he alluded to things that we've always argued for or talked about extensively. He said during COVID, nations that put money in the pocket of their citizens and throw money at businesses just to give them oxygen to survive that period of crisis, global crisis. Those nations are recovering well. But none of those things happen in African nations.
No.
It was rice and noodles they share. Even the noodles they share, the politicians were so foolish enough that they held those noodles. They stole it. Some of them were even using things that were supposed to go to the poor people as souvenir at parties. That, if you get what I mean.
Yeah. True.
So look, when you look at public thinkers, economists, the West, they believe the recovery of any economy is to have money in the pocket of the people.
Yeah.
Because the people's ability to buy, to purchase, determine recovery. If I'm selling pepper down there, Mrs. Rhyme will come and buy because she get money, her husband don't cash out, and she come and buy.
Okay.
If she doesn't have money, he's not going to come and buy my pepper. She just go and probably use powder pepper. I mean, people survival becomes a difficult thing. So that, and when you see the West having social security, like just job seekers allowance, disallowance, and all of that for their average citizens, it's not because they are rich. They don't. Which government won't spend money? Every government wants to save money.
Exactly.
But they have to spend, because if they don't spend, hostility will exist. People will hate themselves.
Exactly.
It's going to be survival of the fittest.
Exactly.
People will hate one another. People will. So and that's why we were saying, look at that caller talk about a man giving up his wife for a stipulated time to get money. Guy, this is not funny
at all.
But my concern, Brian, is the government's psyche do not even reflect the pain that the people are going through.
At all, King
It do
Remy.
not reflect it. And that's why I keep asking, how long, how many more people need to die before these people reset their head? And the problem there, the major fundamental problem here is that this, for me, Bola Tinubu is just freestyling government. It's just improvising. It does not have an idea of what to do.
Exactly.
Because if you don't have a plan and the process through which you will execute your plan, you're just visionless. They just do this and they say, we do it. Okay, we are stopping it. Oh, well, let's shut the border. Let's shut the border. If we shut the border, we'll be able to produce internally. Okay, let's open the border. Let's open. You don't run government like that. It is human life that is at stake. And why I get angry with common Nigerians is that, you know, this guy, Kyle Defayemi, former governor of Ekiti State, recently, he said the reason why they opposed fuel subsidy removal during Goodluck Jonathan was just to play politics.
Of course, I know about that.
So now,
It's politics.
human, how foolish can you be as a person to continue to believe in those who play politics with the life of your children? Together, they got to be boundary lines. They got to be done. It's not every government policy that opposition party in UK oppose. There are things they agree with and they say it. But these things, you know, it is true. To remove fuel subsidy at that point in time, you play politics. And I keep asking, those pastors that protested against Goodluck Jonathan,
Where
they're
are they?
quiet today. as the anointing upon their heads dry off.
They also play politics too, because of course it's all
They
politics.
play politics, and that is why I think the church, I'm a Christian, so I bang on the church, okay? The church in Nigeria is a failed church because you, as a pastor, your members are in government. They are part of the people who steal from these poor people.
That's true.
Have you found the confidence to tell them
yeah,
that everything you gather as a result of stolen funds from the public, God will destroy those things? Do you think you can steal and have generational wealth? Do you think you can steal from the public and use it to buy and use it to raise things and be prosperous? You cannot steal from the poor and be prosperous. You can have a lot of money and you now be prosperous. That's everything you put that money upon will be destroyed at some point. And that's why we don't understand the implication of this moral collapse. Any society that abandons morality is finished. And that's what you're seeing.
exactly.
To what point? Look at Yaya Bello. He's running away now. I saw a report last week or so. They said a governor during Buhari time stole 200 million pounds in foreign offshore account. And they protect themselves.
Yeah.
And that's why you don't see prosperous people. How many billionaires have clean money in Nigeria today? I mean, I'm not saying billionaires are thieves or anybody. I mean, I'm only posing questions.
Yeah.
How many persons truly have genuine wealth? Look, your personal peace is useless when the peace of the people around you is not guaranteed.
Word.
And what does the Nigerian people need? Average man. There's this particular musician whose songs I like to listen to, Shegun Abusifunobia. He said, an average man doesn't ask for too much. He only wants what you and I want, a safe place to lay his head at night. And I had to send his kids to school, to feed his children. Is that too much to ask for? Right, I'm going to shut up now. See,
I know.
last week, I was talking to a friend. He's a teacher at a secondary school. Do you know why we were talking? It was during their free period. Then we started hearing, Ejo, snake. Snake in classroom. There's another school that my friend teaches at. That school, when there's rain, people, they can't learn. No computer, nothing. And you tell me you're doing government. Look, you young Nigerians, if you like, allow these greedy men with gray hair to use their gray hair to steal your future and not speak out, you are on your home. Thank you very much, bro.
Thanks, man. Take it easy. All right. That was King Remy from North London. And it definitely will be okay. That should be my last, because I gotta go now. So the network has been crazy, and I don't know why this one was a little bit clear, but that it wasn't clear when I was talking to Potakot Boy from Iba. And let me see if this one will be clear. Hello, what's your name, please?
Oh, God, thank you, sir. I get you back. Thank you.
Okay.
God bless you, sir. Done for your work. Thank you. I'm so happy for you. Since on Tuesday, where I hear your voice, I listen to your program. I'm very happy. I appreciate support to bless you. God to continue to bless you, keep you wisdom. This is good news coming back.
Okay.
So I want to talk about this, our country.
Okay, so make it short.
This our country. I don't know what our government, our federal government, want us to do. They tell us to vote, we vote. What happened? All this guy when we cry, let them help us bring back our food. Let fuel calm down. Because all this thing will happen. If the fuel calm down, if the fuel go to a normal price, everything will calm down. All these many ways where then they talk. How many months now? How many months? Federal government, they no listen for our cry. People are dying every day. Things is happening. Only me, I know what I face. Most of my people were after me. Who are now almost 900, 1,000. Some people say 1,000, some people say. What federal government want us to do? Please, federal government to help us, to listen to us. They tell us to vote, we vote. They tell us to do this, we do this. Let them have mercy for us.
Okay. Good news. Thank you so much for calling. Thank you.
God to bless you, sir. God to continue to bless you. Thank you very much. I cry every day. When I listen for what happened to our country, I ask myself, is in Nigeria where me I know? This is not our country. This is not our Nigeria.
All right.
Good night, sir. Have a wonderful night. God bless you.
You too. All right, so that's the end. Mike Friday. And I was looking forward to be able to talk about something tomorrow, but I don't know if it's going to go through. For those of you who you want to get to all the information about the childbirth, and all of that fertility stunts. I promise you guys that I will have somebody, who I'm going to have an interview, who's going to throw lights on it. But I'm looking at trying to create a particular day where we're going to have her to talk about, fertility issues, women, childbirth stories of, and all of that stuff. I'm looking forward to do that. I'm still planning it. I'm not comfortable yet, and because of the streaming internet problem, I was thinking that it's not going to hold. But so I didn't make the announcement earlier on because of that glitch that we had of the streaming yesterday. But I'm still looking at inviting, a superior personality that will be talking about this natural family planning thing that we've been talking about since. And then that particular book I told you that was written by Dr. Saliani. Okay. Dr. Leonie P. Max Sweeney, which Mrs. Kenny talked about. And I said when I travel and come back that we're going to have that interview. We're going to have that interview the way she's going to come. But we find out that Doc was late since a couple of years back. And I finally got somebody who will talk about the love life, natural family planning, how to achieve or avoid conception and pre-select sex, and and all that had to do with babies, fertility, and all of that stuff. So I decided to get someone who's currently running the vision of Dr. Max Sweeney. And we were making plan that she will be here tomorrow. If not, we were definitely going to have her. The interview will be done online. But I am still trying to check it out if tomorrow would be perfect, because of some unforeseen circumstances, we might not do it tomorrow, but we might still do it, because I'm looking forward to be able to have her to be on a particular day where we can talk about everything, all stuff. In fact, I don't know, everything, every that had to do with pre-sex or gender selection. Okay, you know, people are asking the question if it doesn't really work. If it does it work? This pre-sex gender election and selection, rather, pre-sex gender selection, does it really work? Or is it a propaganda? Is it something that people are just saying? And some people don't have this knowledge, and that's why I'm looking forward to bring someone who's carrying the vision of Max Sweeney, Dr. Max Sweeney, and this is Dr. Ikaite Ekup, who will be with us. But I am still thinking. So I'm going to have a talk with them. I'm going to have a talk with my PA to have to talk with her. So we know if tomorrow we're going to carry her along in the interview where she will be able to talk. Now she's got a whole lot that she's doing. A whole lot. I can bet you. So much she's doing. Too many things she's doing. And she's having classes teaching women what it should be, what should not. I mean, pregnancy, childbirth, uncovering the hidden stories behind, experience of pregnancy and childbirth that need healing. She's got, people are asking questions and she's talking with them, teaching them, and also having classes talk about miscarriages, postpartum depression, grief, self-blame, libido, abnormal babies, stillbirth, premature birth, abnormal babies, ectopic pregnancy, cesarean delivery, and a whole lot. So Dr. Kaite will be the one to be with us. He's currently having a 7-week discussion with with people, and so I'm thinking if I'll be able to get her time so she can talk about this this pre-gender selection, so, and that would be so good because most of you don't have an idea of what's happening. This would be a very good time for you to ask her questions, even about IVFs, sex during pregnancy, preterm babies, painful vaginal tears, and all of those things that got to do with a woman, birth, fertility, and with all of that stuff. I don't know what else I want to talk about right now. This is very important, and I think it's really going to be for free for you, and it will be awesome that we're going to reschedule. I don't know if it's tomorrow. Definitely you're still going to have her after tomorrow. I'm looking for a day where we're going to be having her talk about these things, it takes to know what to do when your time comes to give birth. Okay, for those who are still doubting about the sex gender selection, it's called the pre-sex gender selection, and to also talk about the book that Dr. McWinney talked about, it will be good. So just be expectant and get ready, because I'll be having Dr. Ikaite Ekup here, either in person or live, online rather. So I want to thank everybody who calling. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. Let's see what happens. I'm going to be crossing all the T's and the dots and seeing how it's going to happen.